There's a bit of sleepwalking, maybe. Now it will. Will he? Will he?
Well,
Finally.
what have we here?
Ah, the prodigal son returns. I knew you'd come back to me one day.
Let me guess. You saw it in a dream?
I knew you were going to say that.
But I had a divine revelation. That next time I won't be around to pull you out of the shit.
Oh, well, I am sorry. But these things are sent to try our fortitude in the face of adversity.
I'd like to try your fortitude. So what is it you want from me now?
Ah, my dear apprentice, everything's gone to the devil. I'm living from hand to mouth,
In the inn.
sleeping on straw, and the local peasants won't buy from me. They say they don't trust me, as if I were some kind of charlatan. Can you believe it?
Who'd have
Does
thought?
this look to you like the face of a swindler? I'm an honest trader in sacred goods, whose only concern is the welfare of troubled souls.
I'm not saying anything, actually.
And any time now the slanderous gossip will spread here from Sassau. I should leave before things get worse. But I can't go anywhere until I've made a bit of coin. So what's needed is to give the locals a bit of encouragement, to open their hearts and purses.
Hey, Gartag, how's it going? Surely a bit of a beating is what they need. That's escalating far too quickly.
I'm not going to go around beating people for you.
What do you take me for? I wouldn't hurt a fly. Violence is for the dull-witted. We must gently demonstrate to them the necessity of buying my remedies. For example, to ward off a revenant.
Revenant? What revenant?
The dead return from the grave, a corpse that the soul is unable to depart from, which wanders among the living, filled with rage at its wretched fate.
Yeah, I saw something like that once. But it was just some drunk going home from the tavern after losing all his money at dice.
Don't make light of such things. Now tell me, do you know how to deal with a revenant?
Kill it with fire. Set fire to it and piss on it. Should we try that?
Set fire to it and piss on it?
You're not taking this seriously at all, are you? You are my trained apprentice.
Oh,
but
I don't like that.
the ignorant villager is entirely at a loss how to deal with such dark forces. It is our sacred duty to prepare them for such threats.
And how do you propose to do that?
Well, they're all doubting Thomases. They need proof. We'll need a grave, an empty grave that we can use. There's one along the way to Sassau, but it's got one minor shortcoming.
What's that?
Well, it's not entirely empty.
Not entirely? What does that mean?
You have to dig it up first.
Oh.
Why this
I'm
particular
doing it
grave?
anyway. Let's face it.
The locals don't like to talk about it, so it's surely got some sinister past behind it. And in places like that, revenants sprout up like mushrooms after rain.
Well, if that's how it is, we could open old wounds. That could easily set people against us. Again.
Then it would be best if no one could connect us to it, wouldn't it?
You tired and bored, Gartag? Bored? Hopefully not. Not on my stream. I hope that was... I hope you were bored before you came here. And this, hopefully, will be the solution.
But that's a sin.
Refusing to help the needy is also a sin. I haven't had a decent meal for 40 days and 40 nights.
Oh, right. Okay.
My conscience is clear where your stomach is concerned. Disturbing a grave is a grave sin.
Oh, Henry, that
Not
was...
in hallowed ground, so that's hardly worth one Lord's Prayer in penance. I asked a priest once, just out of curiosity.
Oh, hey, Pan. Sorry, didn't see you come on there. Who does this dupe think he is? Machiavelli. He's trying his best, isn't he?
I'll have nothing to do with it.
Oh,
Give the job to someone with no human decency.
That's not.
You're my one and only apprentice.
That's not the response that suggested.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
This better not have stopped this quest.
What's this about the revenant, then?
I knew you wouldn't abandon me.
I'll need a spade, then.
Yes, dig it up and remove the remains, leaving no trace.
And what am I to do with the remains?
Good question.
Keep them. Human remains are always handy to have around.
Are they?
Great. And how do we spread the word of this revenant?
There's a gossip in every village. Here, too, a woman who'll spread news quicker than a dozen messengers on the fastest steeds.
A gossip. We find a gossip.
And what am I to tell this gossip?
All you have to do is casually mention the empty grave, and before evening, I'll wager the whole village will know about it.
Where does this woman live?
The last house on the left, on the road to Sasau. She was the first person I met here, and by the time I reached the village green, I already had a mob looking suspiciously at me. The rumor-mongering fishwife.
And that's all?
Not quite. You should ask her who was buried there. So we've got a story to work with.
So, dig up the grave, talk to the gossip.
And the remains. Don't forget to remove them. Otherwise, no one will believe in the revenant.
Good luck, then.
Right. Okay. We have got a bizarre quest going on here. But, yeah, this is supposedly... Can I open that? Now, the question is, was this quest part of the DLC that you paid for?
God save you, Henry.
Or was it just part of the patch that came at the same time that anyone should have had access to? Because, I'll tell you why, Warhorse left... I left a comment on the Steam review for this game, saying that it was disappointing. Sorry, let me start this. The Hans Capon DLC was disappointing. It was too short and too buggy. And they actually got back and apologised for it. I think they apologised to a lot of people on Steam. And saying, we've patched it now, we've fixed it, there's a lot more content that you should have had access to. Now, it's great that they fixed this Charlatan quest, because I always wanted to do it. But was it part of the DLC, or was it free content? Because if it was free content, then the DLC itself is still too short and still overpriced for what it is, in my opinion. Right, anyway. That's that little story out the way. Oh, Gartag, I'm glad you're here to get on board. That is good news. Right, so we've got somewhere... Is that where the grave is? Dig up the grave and remove the remains. We're going to go and do that in the middle of the night, because that is the best time to go grave robbing. Based on as much personal experience as I have in the matter. Let's find... Can I find a way out of this damn town? Yeah, I think the best way is just to turn left at the top of this road, just here. There we go. And off we go. Hi, Predator. How are you tonight? We're off grave robbing, boys and girls. What tasty delights shall we find in the bottom of a hole in the ground with a corpse on top of it? Tell you what, the bandits have upped their game in this flipping game recently. All decked out in Lord's plate armour. Tough as nails. Tough as old boots. Hard as nails. That was the phrase I was looking for. You just bought door kickers? What is door kickers? Sounds like a pair of boots that you'd go out in the 80s. No, 90s. Yeah, I'm not that old. Right, so somewhere around here. Is it going to take me directly to it, or am I going to have to... do a little bit of searching for it, I think. Oh, this is a cool place, actually. Is it buried on top of this? This up here, it's like a way up to it. This would be cool. I discovered a nest. I can't see the nest. I don't really care about the nest. Aha! A grave and an interesting sight. Let's get digging. Oh, you've been looking through the Steam sale. I think, is Kingdom Come Deliverance still on there? If you're bored, there's 100 hours there. I think they've had 40% off this recently, which is a good buy. So I have to pick up all the bits out of here. All right. Not quite sure. Do I just walk around with them? Or do I then go and put them back afterwards? Dig up the grave and remove the remains. And we'll have some dandelions while we're here. Talk to the local gossip. Right, so far so good. Should be a horse. There it is. You have stumbled into an episode of Bones. Not quite sure where this quest is taking us. We have to dig up a corpse, Mikey, and then pretend it's risen from the grave, and then we're going to pretend to offer a solution to it. It's a scam. Henry's getting involved with a shot. Who's this guy?
Welcome, Henry.
What grave? I don't know anything about a grave. No, I didn't see anyone digging up a grave. Let's go and find the gossip. They also made Door Kickers Action Squad, which is a 2D platform game. Can't say. Oh, could we slaughter those pigs? Would there be any benefit in this? You see, I played open beta Overkill's The Walking Dead. You got a beta key as well, but you have to say the graphics, as high as they can go, it looks like a game from the 90s. I didn't think it looked too bad, but then when I was playing it, I thought, oh, it's just in beta, so it's there's a while before it's finished its development. It's actually being released next week on the 6th of November. Or is that this week? What are we on? The 29th. No, it's a week away. So, that's... I don't mind the graphics. I thought they looked okay. I had them turned up. But there are some glitches that need fixing, like people smoking invisible cigarettes. That ain't good. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go and talk to the gossip in the morning, because I imagine she's going to be in bed right now. So let's go find... Where the hell is my room in the inn in this place? Is this actually the inn? This doesn't look inn-like to me. No, it's a tailor's shop. Go and sleep in somebody's tailor's shop. Why not? Hey, Covenant. How are you tonight? Did I... That's his place. Did I... Hang on. I must be through here. Oh, I remember. It's here. I've got access to my... Yes, my huge supply of stuff. Next week, it's next Wednesday, is it? It said 6th of November. Yeah, that isn't next week. So yeah, it's really close to release is The Walking Dead, so it's... I better eat something when I get up out of this. It's kind of disappointing. I thought, okay, a few months, development, they'll work on that. It's also, and I didn't put the two together, it's basically Payday 2 with zombies. And I should have known, because I was playing it thinking, this feels like Payday 2, the way the missions are hosted and you join randoms and stuff. And then Overkill recently bought out Payday 2, isn't that right? They didn't originally do it, or am I wrong about that? Someone bought out Payday 2, I'm sure. Anyway, it is Payday 2 with zombies. Without the humour. I don't know how that's going to go down. I need to... Chat, do you want to see me go and take part in the tournament and win the tournament again?
Good day, Henry.
Or shall I just do this quest and see where it goes? I was going to go to the bathhouse first. Oh, Charisma 19. That's enough. I don't need to.
Ladies and gentlemen, good men and good wives, come closer.
Could this be a Halloween update quest? You mean this? It's not supposed to be, although it is quite appropriate, isn't it? Hang on, where's she gone? I've missed her. bet she sat by the main road, gossiping. Graphics in World of Tanks before 1.0 were okay for a free game, but back in 2013, the graphics were rubbish. They were a bit more basic back then, but they were also designed so that they would play on low-end PCs. And to be fair, they did. Is that the town gossip? It is. I'd give you a hand with that, but I'm not going to.
God be with you, good wife. Has something happened here?
Heavens no. It's quiet here, unlike some other places.
And what about that empty grave?
What empty grave would that be now?
The one beyond the village, alongside the road to Sasau. Just by the river, on the Pine Headland.
How would you know it's empty, unless it was dug up?
Oh, it's dug up, all right. Freshly. And empty. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Literally.
Lord in heaven, what in the name of...
How come it's not in hallowed ground, anyway? Only unrepentant sinners are buried like that. Usually.
I don't like to say. It's an old wound that's best forgotten.
Whose grave is it?
Well, once a long time ago there was a young charcoal burner living here with his wife. There was always a lot of charcoal burners here, but this fellow worked alone. That's not an easy job for one man.
Well, no one wanted to work with him, or what?
Oh, he was a hard-headed fellow who always wanted to take care of his family himself.
No man is an island.
Well, only then you've no one to blame but yourself if you end up alone.
His wife was expecting, though no one knew it yet. And he wasn't doing well at all. Soon enough they had nothing to eat. And so he took to thieving.
I'll go with the sympathy route, I think, with this one.
Well, I can understand him. To watch your family suffer like that. What could he do when they were going hungry?
If we'd known how badly off they was, folk would have helped out. But he kept his troubles to himself.
And did he get caught?
Well, at first it was just a few eggs going missing from people's hen coops. But then it was anything that wasn't nailed down. And in the end, they caught him.
And I suppose he was harshly punished for it.
Even then he didn't let on why he was doing it. They whipped the skin off his back and banished him from Leditchcombe.
So justice was done then?
It wasn't enough for some folk. When the butcher found out he'd never get any compensation, he wanted them to chop off the charcoal burner's hands. If the bailiff hadn't talked sense into him, he'd have done it himself with his cleaver.
Well, he got off lightly enough then.
And in the end, he got what was coming to him, and more.
The butcher caught up with him?
No. It was the mills of God turning slowly but surely. His wife bled to death in childbirth, and the child died with her.
Oh, that's not nice.
God have mercy on their souls.
Amen.
Nothing could have been done to save them.
There was no one there. He had no one who would care for his wife. They say on that day he parted ways with God forever, and he turned his back on the village too. I reckon he never forgave himself, nor us either.
The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
Cultivated from a rose bush.
But how did he end up?
Don't ask me that, lad. I beg you.
Okay. I'm going to leave
Sorry,
it.
good wife. Let's leave it be.
Thanks, lad.
Lad?
Wine
Lad?
squeezed from
It's
grapes,
sir.
cultivated
To
from a
you,
rose
madam.
bush.
That charlatan is annoying me. You saw a few glitches in The Walking Dead 2. Ran into a couple of people. One of them magically vanished and they flew into the sky and across the map.
Welcome, Henry.
Wow, okay. I don't think that game's quite ready for such a sudden
your
release.
service, Sir Knight.
I know who was buried in that grave. A young charcoal burner.
So begins the tragic tale of the young charcoal burner who became entangled with the devil himself.
Oh, don't start. What devil? I'm trying to tell you. He was from Ledetchko. He was trying to eke out a living for himself and his wife, but he couldn't manage. When she fell pregnant, he took to stealing.
Pride drove him from the straight and narrow path, and soon he sold his soul to the devil to fill his stomach.
They caught him and punished him, but some of the people he'd robbed didn't think it was enough. Then when his wife died in childbirth, and the child too, he blamed everyone for it. Even God, apparently.
But when the time came to pay his debt to hell, the devil had no use for his soul, and took his wife and child instead. The charcoal burner cursed God, who struck him down in righteous vengeance. But the dead man's soul never left his body. He came back as a revenant, to vent his rage at God and men and take vengeance on the living.
Jesus, did you listen to what I said at all?
Sorry, did you say something?
Oh, never mind.
These
What do you want me
two.
to do with it?
Well, the question is, what would the revenant do to get revenge on the villagers? Well, apprentice?
Okay, so I guess we're doing all of this.
He was stealing food from people, right? So, supposing he started again.
We should steal from people? Disgraceful. Have you no shame?
Maybe just a few eggs from hen coops, like the gossip mentioned.
Well, that wouldn't be too serious a sin.
Don't think he was bothered
Will they
before.
put it down to the revenant, though?
They would, if I put some charcoal there instead.
And their nourishment he turned into ash.
Suddenly you can see how all these old stories came around, can't you? Hi Zarias and C4 Ducky, hi both of you, welcome tonight. Gonna be playing some Assassin's Creed 4 later on. What about the butcher?
Gossip mentioned the butcher. It seems he was infuriated that the charcoal burner's punishment was too lenient.
And the revenant spoiled their meat with his malign touch.
How's that?
Spoiled meat is a classic example of a revenant's power.
Huh. I thought it was the work of bad butchers.
That too, sometimes.
So, I should switch the good meat for bad at the butcher's. What about the butcher woman?
What about her?
Her conscience was troubled on account of her man, and she couldn't sleep. But I helped her, so she's found some peace.
So, no problem then.
What? I'm supposed to scare the wits out of her and start all over again?
Oh, I remember
All
that.
right, if you can find some other solution, you don't have to switch the meat. But I wouldn't worry about her.
Okay.
But make sure it's the same kind of meat. Not even a revenant will turn a cow into a chicken.
Gotcha. Smart fella, this guy.
What about his wife and child? No doubt he'd want to avenge their death.
Well, how did they die?
In childbirth.
And when his love turned to rage, the water turned to blood. Nothing too original, but it's tried and tested. If you do it at the baths, everyone will hear of it.
How am I supposed to do that? It might be a bit suspicious if I'm seen walking around with a pail of blood.
No problem. There's a certain potion that will do the trick easily.
He cursed God. That's very serious.
What is it that most brings God to mind?
They don't have a church there. But everyone will have a rosary. I can't think of anything else.
That's it! If folks start losing their rosaries, they'll have sleepless nights over it.
You want me to steal rosaries? But that's...
Or just exchange them.
For what?
For what?
For nothing.
Great.
Yeah, okay. It's not stealing,
So,
it's just exchanging.
Switch eggs for charcoal, switch the meat, color the water in the baths, and switch the rosaries. That ought to do it. I
Okay.
hope so. Of course, if you come up with anything else, don't let me hold you back. Talking to people might give you ideas. Traders, the bailiff.
Well, what if someone sees me in the act?
They mustn't.
They die.
Otherwise, it'll end up like Sasau all over again. Don't draw attention to yourself, or they'll put two and two together.
Sure. I'll keep my head down. And how will I know if I've succeeded? I doubt it'll be announced on the market square.
I'll be the first to know. They'll come running to me for a remedy, like hens at feeding time. Off you go and raise hell.
So this is a pretty substantial quest, I think.
But whatever he did, don't you think he deserves some peace?
Dear Henry, after all the poor wretch went through, I'd say he's beyond any peace.
Well, he certainly won't have any as long as I'm carrying his bones around with me.
Ah, but you know who those remains could help.
Help? Who? How?
Oh,
Me,
I
of
know.
course.
Sell them as saints.
And I'd pay you a nice price for a revenant's bones.
But there is no revenant.
Not yet. What do you say?
Why not? Sell them. Ah, just get rid of them. Oh, it's making me think twice about this.
I think I'd rather bury them.
You could. But what a waste. Imagine the power they could have.
At least the poor wretch will have peace at last.
Maybe. As long as you bury him in hallowed ground. Otherwise, you're wasting your time.
Like in Rat-Eye, maybe?
Well, that's probably the nearest. That gossip-mongering crone would know.
True, I could ask her.
If you must. But for heaven's sake, don't even hint to her what you're up to.
Take care.
Very good. Okay, so we've got a few ideas. This whole quest was completely bugged, either with the DLC or with the patch, whichever one it came with. So talk to the gossip about the charcoal burner. We've done this, right? Is that not her?
The relics of saints from Italy.
No, it's not.
Altar candles from France. And pieces
So
of cloth.
let's have a look at the map, see what we've got to do. Oh, I say, there's loads of stuff to do all of a sudden. Yeah, no wonder I was short of stuff to do before. Let's have a look. Who was saying about there's a game that was free? I missed it. Oh, hi, Typhon X. Sorry, I missed you come on there. Was it... Ooh, I've got a mouse working in two windows there. What the hell was it? It was... Free game. The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. What the hell is that? Because it's a new one on me. Let's have a look at this then. So we've got... Colour the water in the baths. Did he give me the potion for that? Place the butcher's meat with rotten meat. Talk to the gossip. Let's go and talk to the gossip about the charcoal burner. Yeah, come on then, Pan. What is that? What is the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit? And are they better than the Amorous Adventures of Sir Hans Capon? That's what I want to know. So, aha! Perfect place for a gossip to hang out along the main road.
Good wife.
Yes, lad. What can I do for
That
you?
voice.
You know, I can't stop thinking about what happened to that poor wretch.
I'm sorry it troubles you. It's kind of you to be concerned. It gives me little rest when I think of what happened.
And what did happen that was so terrible?
You were considerate enough not to press me last time. So I'll tell you. Several people from the village went to have it out with Lev, but he grabbed an axe and drove them off. He swore if anyone came near him, he'd burn their house down. Then he buried his wife and child in the meadows beyond Ledetchko. I saw him carving 3 statues there.
Lev, you say his name was. What kind of statues?
There's 3 roughly carved beams there, each with a human face, except the smallest, which has no face at all.
For the stillborn child, I suppose. What happened then?
Nothing. He went back to his work, but never spoke to the villagers again. He'd even go all the way to Rattay for food, rather than talk to anyone here.
So he died alone in the end?
Actually, it was the villagers. It was us that killed him.
What? Just on account of his stealing?
No. Not long after, fires started springing up in the village. And when the first house burned down, the folk were very angry.
And of course suspicion fell on Lev.
Everyone was dead certain it was him. They all remembered his words. Do you know how arsonists are punished, lad?
No, I don't.
By burning on the pyre. But no one wanted to waste time with the law. We just went to his house at night, smashed in the door and windows, and threw lighting torches inside. And that was the end of him. But the fires didn't stop.
Oops.
So he was innocent?
He was.
Oops.
Well, I won't condemn you for it. It's for God to judge, but...
Oh, may God forgive you. Quick.
May he forgive you for it.
Thanks, lad. I pray every day for forgiveness, and it's a weight off my shoulders to tell someone.
May the Lord watch over